Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We have arrived at the belly of the beast on a merciless difficulty. So, the last couple of episodes we have, basically for the entirety of Merciless we have been running around with the same set of gear. Just our Cold and Soul, Bitterdream, and just rares in all the other ones. And of course we got Aetheri's Foible for mana regen as our other unique. And this is a pretty decent setup. I said I'm gonna see how far I can push this. In the Doresso's Dream we saw that things are getting very tough, at least for this particular build with this particular set of gear. I hardly have any physical damage mitigation to work with. And because I'm using 2 Frostbolts, it's really hard to actually put that in. So I'm gonna do Belly of the Beast and we're gonna do Malachi. But it might not be the most flawless execution, just like with a Doresso. But I think that is the interesting bit. Basically seeing if we can take an under-geared character and still push him past Malachi. Do a check how good Malachi is. So, here goes nothing. This will be my first ever Merciless Malachi run. It's none of my previous characters I actually did it. Most of the times when I lose a character on the hardcore, I either restart the same character or I start a new character if I feel like I've made enough progression. So this is gonna be a first for me. It's not gonna be on hardcore, but it's definitely gonna be a it's gonna be interesting. So now Malachi on previous difficulties, he never really disappoints. It's always a fun fight. So this is gonna be interesting. So besides Malachi, we obviously still have a depth to settle with Zaro. He killed me once. I will take a couple more levels, upgrade my skills, upgrade my gear, and then we're gonna do them again. And in the meantime, we have maps to run. The first couple of tiers of maps we should be able to run without too much issues. So is it me or is the sound louder than normal? Let's reduce the sound volume a little bit. This area, because it is very small and confined, and it's one of the later additions, I believe this actually benefits from some of the effects in the new sound engine that some other areas might not have. So maybe here it's more pronounced. Oh. Well, as before, slow and steady wins the race. And hopefully it keeps me alive. We are a couple of levels away from getting our current skill lineup completed. 3 more levels. And we get the Fingers of Frost. After that I want to get the double curse one. But I don't think that's going to be before doing the labyrinth, but we'll see. But once we do complete the labyrinth, we're gonna get quite a bunch of mana regen from our 3rd ascendancy upgrade. And as a result, we can refund some points in the skill tree that give us mana regen, and we can use those skill points to make it easier to reach double cursing. So that way we don't have to sacrifice a gear slot to do it. Oh, maybe while upgrading my gear I actually managed to squeeze in a Daedalus Damning or a Windscream or something to get ourselves up with double cursing. Because the thing is, most of the enemies now at this range already, they start to get enfeebled. So Frostbite, most of the times I want to use it, monsters just wear it off, and especially if they keep dipping in and out of range of Enfeeble, they actually use Enfeeble against me to lose their curse, which is, well, unintended or clever, but either way it's annoying. Say the Scarp is endgame stuff. Good, good. Let's see. I'll hold out for something that has a bit more sockets than what we're currently finding. So for this series we are, well, we're not quite done yet. So as I said, we got the labyrinth, we got some maps. I want to see how far we can push maps. There's gonna be, I will upgrade my gear, so I might actually just dedicate an episode to some gear choices, gear trade-offs. Might even feature some trades. I'm not quite sure. Could be interesting. I haven't really done a lot, so for people who are, like me, pretty new to trading, it might show them how I've been trading so far. And it's only from a buyer's perspective. As I said before, I'm not a seller. I'm not online enough, and when I'm online I'm usually recording YouTube videos. I still need to fix that it doesn't show that. But I'm usually recording YouTube videos, and in those circumstances I don't want to be bothered by people. And ignoring people that want to buy things is rude. So I'm erring on the side of not bothering. Let's see. Kill you all. Well, after we have concluded this series, I will start a new one. I've been talking about it before. I think I was actually speaking about it when we were in Late Cruel, after I died. And we will be playing, or I will be playing a Lacerator. Well, using the new Lacerate skill. And I've done some playtesting on standard mode with a old duelist I've got. I think it was around level 40-ish. Lacerate is actually a ton of fun. And my initial leanings were towards bleeding damage. But turns out Lacerate with the crosscut double attack, bleeding, you will only apply bleeding once, and then you're not gonna get a benefit from more bleeding. Well, you might upgrade your damage, but you're not gonna stack it, since you can only a target can only be bleeding once. It's not like poison, where you can apply multiple stacks of poison. And for that reason, I actually started to look a bit more at poison, and that is actually an interesting combination because of the crosscut double applying, or the stacking. Okay. Let's see, if you summon skeletons, will they get mowed down, or we summon the Golem? Just keep vortexing. Keep calm and vortex on. Golem, please return. Okay. She did affect one stack of stuff on me. Just have to keep reapplying this. So I'm currently not really capable of building up frenzy stacks, so I'm losing some of my my damage here. Oi, 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 stop doing that. I take 40% extra damage from chaos, so given that I think this is chaos, I don't want any of that. Wow. As I said, I don't want any of that. Restricted checkpoint, that seems more like it. We can just move on. As I said, this is going to be a best effort. I might die multiple times, but I realize I am undergeared for this fight. Wait, what the... How am I dying so quickly now that I wasn't before? This is curious. Right, so all auras are up. We have our Golem. I could switch to an amethyst flask, I might. What the hell? Oh man, it's just... I never expected this to be this ludicrous in terms of damage. Right. So clearly I should not get hit at all. Go. Okay. Let's just run after the beams. Golem, please return. This deals so much damage. I'm just gonna continue pushing this. It's getting to ludicrous levels of how often I'm dying. It's just basically the lesson to learn here is to really don't get stuck here and do upgrade your gear and do fix your chaos persist and probably do boost your damage a bit more. Let's see. How many of those twisters can you have, Piety? Really? So, you get hit by a lot of stacks of the corrupted blood, which just does massive amounts of damage. Okay, that also works then, you can just teleport over it. With Whirling Blades and Leap Slam you can't, or at least Whirling Blades you can't. So, interesting that... Ooh. That it is not an issue for Flame Dash. I keep learning new things about my skills, that is also an interesting bit of course. My flask is empty. I will not... Ow. I poured it in instead of over it. As I said, this is just gotta get into the hilarious bits. Oh, we almost have her. Oh. We can actually frostbite her. Wait, what? Seriously. At this point though, it's becoming a point of fright. I do want to defeat Piety. Doesn't really matter how many times I have to die in order to actually achieve it. At least the game puts checkpoints down. That's, I don't know, is that a new thing? So I remember from the old days that you had to always resurrect back in town. Okay, definitely need some perspective here. Almost got her. Ah, okay. Gee. At this point, given how often I'm dying, he can almost start to call me Boat's brother. If you have been following Project PT's recent series, where he took a random non-Path of Exile player and just threw him into the game, not knowing anything, not explaining anything, and no, it's been hilarious and sad to watch both. Because Path of Exile really is a game that has a lot of depth. But it's really bad at explaining all that depth and all the details. And it takes a lot of things for granted that you are used to from the action RPG genre, from games like Diablo 2, Diablo 3. Yeah, but Piety is a very tricky fight. That's... I wonder if Malachi is going to be easier than Piety, or if he'll be just as gruesome. But we will figure it out. Hello there, Piety. We almost have no loot, so that's good. That means we can do the fight here. But so far I have been correct with my previous characters in staying the heck away from this area, because this is really dangerous. Piety is really scary. It's very tight confines. The corrupting blood debuff that she stacks on you is really painful. And not having proper chaos resists is probably being punished as well. I believe Malachi doesn't have similar mechanics. He only does... I don't think he does chaos damage, or not a lot of chaos damage. And there are no debuffs that I know of. Then again, no, maybe the fight is more tough on higher difficulties. We are about to find out. Okay, so... Oh, this is the fun thing for me as well. No, I keep discovering new things. Well, I'll be the last person to claim I'm an expert at the game. Or at any game, that is. No, I'm not an expert. I've been playing for a while. I like to read the wiki and theory craft and think about things. So I have more knowledge of the game than maybe your average player that's less invested in the game. Also, ow. But no, there are areas of the game that I just haven't explored in a lot of detail yet. And this late game is definitely part of that. Is this where the queen is? No wait, that's always in another area. What the heck is hurting so much? When I started running maps, that was a learning experience. That was fun. Carnal armor, 71. That's even higher end than what I'm currently using. And I need another full level. I'm actually picking it up. Oh yeah, level 70. I'm 70. So that also means that Piety was actually 2 levels above me. Might be yet another case of me pushing into content where I shouldn't be playing just yet. I do that sometimes. But it's fun. No, it's a way to learn. Just by trying. And then once you understand, you can get better. Oh god, yeah, he was heavily into poison. Why again did I think this was a good idea? So my entire investment in energy shield is just wasted here. That's rather annoying. So I might actually have enough skeleton stuff, yes. Okay, this is clearly not the way to go. This is actually getting very frustrating. I thought it would be fun and challenging to do this, using the same gear I've been doing, and it worked really fine until Calm. Calm was a challenge. King Calm was the point where but there was a very nice balance. I really enjoyed that fight. I wasn't overpowering it, and I had to fight. I had to earn my victory. Then the Resso, I died twice. Once in the arena, once against him. That was okay. I wasn't expecting to die in the arena, but against the Resso, sure, he's a tough fight. There's no mobs, there's nothing to charge your flasks on, it's a lot of hit and run, and you're just grinding them out in one misstep or just one split second of not paying attention and you can get killed by the swords. It's a really punishing fight. But after that it just goes from bad to worse. No, Piety, I died 10 times. That's... If you contrast how tough a Calm was, then the Resso, then Piety, and now Malagaro. This is not fun. I'm actually just gonna ignore this part of the game for now, and probably not return here until I'm like level 80 and massively upgraded in terms of gear, because this is no fun. This feels even more punishing than some of the really unfair fights in Grim Dawn, where one misstep and you die. This feels like old Path of Exile again, actually. So yeah, this is probably a sign that I, as a player, still have some growing left to do, and you discovered it together with me. Don't go beyond King Calm. Basically, especially if you're playing a hardcore, go to Calm. Then massively invest in upgrading your gear, or maybe even skip Calm, because there's no proper rewards for those quests anyway. But once you get the Crystal Veins, you free the Strength in the Mines, Crystal Veins, then talk to Tasuni for your skill point. All the quests afterwards, they don't matter. Killing Malachi, I believe, gives you a rare map, which is probably good. But sure. At this point, I'll call it quits at about King Calm. Then start running maps. And once you are level 80, like 10 levels over leveled, and once you are properly geared up, then go back in, because there is an invisible challenge level. No, it's 69 and 70, and Malagaro being 2 levels above it, so he's level 72. But the difference in power, it does not feel like it's just one level. it feels like he's like 5 or 10 levels higher. So to a certain degree, low chaos resistance or negative chaos resistance, really bad. But yeah. Oh, anyway, that's a bit of a rant of sorts, I think. No, I like difficulty curves that ramp up and you know, if one boss is tough. Oh, actually got a map here. Tropical Islands, that's what we're gonna run next time. So if if you can handle one fight on a level, it should be a level or a fight that has a similar level should be similarly challenging, and if not, there's a balancing issue. Personal opinion there, but yeah, I dislike being punished for fights that are just poorly balanced for their level. That's probably one of my grievances with the Labyrinth as well. Izaro is not a level. He's not. His power is not on par with his level, which is why I have gotten into the habit of doing that fight 10 levels over leveled. And apparently you have to do that with everything in Act 4 as well. Okay, so for that, thank you for watching. I hope you at least enjoyed the journey of a character that, well, died long ago, but we didn't make it to the end of Act 4. We didn't finish it, but we did make it to the end of Act 4. So, next episodes, there will be maps, there will be gear upgrades. Depending on how I will be with my time, one or the other will come first. So, for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.